sexy and how you feel is all within you. It's not a look. I'm Jules and I'm 25. So I definitely think I'm judged for not having ideal body shape, and that just comes from society. We're all judged. I don't think anyone can leave the house or say anything without being judged. There's always judgment being passed. It's definitely something that just comes from our own insecurities. We tend to project onto other people, so judgment, you just take it with a grain of salt. Most of the time I don't think too much of the judgment I get. So the easiest way to explain this is just sex sells. So women in the media will tend to project their femininity, their sexuality in a way to sell products. But this does create an unrealistic expectation of women and what sexy is, what women are supposed to portray to the world. This gives unrealistic expectations. And the way they feel is like they feel like they're an object. They feel like their sole purpose is to appease a man, provide their sexuality to them, and have their sexuality explained to them as it's one way. This can also tend to make women who are naturally curvy, so big boobs, big butt, feel like they always have to be sexy, as well as as the opposite, women that have smaller curves makes them feel like they're not as sexy or they have to put in more effort to be sexy, when sexy and how you feel is all within you. It's not a look. So I definitely think this is something that's been going out throughout history. I think it's changed recently in how, as women, we've always been objects. We've always been here to appease a man, or at least that's how it feels like. Before, back then, we weren't supposed to have jobs. We were just supposed to be there to appease our husbands, to cook, clean, take care of the children. And now it's just more focused on the way we look, I guess. I think for anyone that I'm having a conflict with, or we have a disagreement in what we're trying to convey, the first thing I love to offer them is my time and my ears. So just to listen to their argument or what they believe in. The second thing I love to give them is my heart. My heart is open to them and what they have to say. And then the third thing is my hands, so we can shake on something when we find common ground, because I do think that's important, is to listen to the other side, and that's where you create a mutual bond. And going into what I'd really tell them is explain my personal experience with the over-sexualization of women's bodies. So just being at a young age, I developed very early. So at the age of 10, I had boobs. And then going on to that, I started getting hips. And so I would go to the mall and walk around with my father, and it would look like I was his wife. And that's how I was approached. People would talk to my father and refer to me as his wife. So at a young age, it brought a lot of shame to me for my body, for the way that I looked. So I had to change the way I represented myself, so wearing baggier clothes, doing everything I could to be not sexy, because my body already seemed or brought a sexual aspect to things, so I would in turn be quirky and funny and try to laugh at things, but inside it was just me being so shameful of my own body. And just a body I was given. It wasn't like I asked for big boobs or a butt. It was just what was given to me, and I was forced all these stereotypes onto my body. Again, the media brings a big aspect to it, but it's just these grown men who are approaching a 14-year-old and catcalling her at the mall. From the time I developed, I was seen, by everyone, and not in a light that I wanted to be seen in. So the advice I have for women is just to remember you own your own body. So don't let others make you feel shame for the way you look. And I feel like every woman has probably felt this because it's projected onto us. Our sexuality is projected onto us whether we like it or not. So it's just really about owning your body, owning your sexuality. You decide how you want to feel that day, and don't let society project onto you. I am Jules, and this is my say on the over-sexualization of women's body. I am a woman, I own me.